This is Sport Night Amplified with Andile, powered by SABC Sport. Exclusive to Metro FM. Game over.
First of all, thank the chairman himself for giving me, first of all, the opportunity to play for such a big club, Orlando Pirates, and also the trust that he had in me. There's so many meetings that we had throughout my career at Orlando Pirates that people didn't know. I just also want to thank him for that, and also thank the fans as well for helping me to become a better player than I was. And to my teammates as well, I just want to maybe ask for forgiveness if I was acting out some type of way because of the pressures, and I'm the person that likes to win. I don't like playing for fun, and I was at the Orlando Pirates specifically to try and win things for the team. That's why the meetings were happening behind closed doors, to help the team to win. And I felt like some of the guys that were just joyriding the club, they were not there to win stuff for the club. And if I came a little bit hard, I just wanted to apologize. And I think that if we only became friends, we would have actually understood the type of person that I am.
Please go look up something called Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality is something popularly known as Kobe Bryant's way of doing things, where other players would always complain that, listen, this guy, we've just arrived, we've just finished the game, and he wants us to go back to the gym. You know, we want to go to the club. He says, no, let's go to the gym. Because he wanted to win things, because he had that sort of mentality. And I got from Dicko yesterday that he was built the same way. The way Jordan is built, the way David Beckham we're told was built, the way Kobe Bryant, most importantly, was built. They're just winners, and they want to win. And sometimes to others that looks like, I don't know, overexposed, chest-beating arrogance. But it wasn't so. That there was our kickoff. Our conversation yesterday with Teko Modise. It is available on our YouTube. It is available as well on the podcast here on Metro FM. Get into our website, www.metrofm.co today, and check it out. It's 10 after the hour 6. Welcome. It is Podcast Friday! Hey, the whole gang is back. We welcome back, of course, Linda Lamoyo, part of the Opta group. He's going to be here, member of Opta Jabu, of course, as we look at the weekend that is. But we'll cover some stories at the beginning. Mkonza's here. Nadim is here. Pro Pilan is here. The whole gang is here. We'll touch on several things. We'll touch on a conversation we had with Teko, the conversation we had with Noko Matlo and Banyana as they came back from the World Cup. We'll speak on what Rulani Mukwena's had to say. A lot of people are wondering, hey, what is he seeing that most aren't? But Rulani Mukwena said something, and Nseki as well at Kaizer Chiefs. There's something he said that we're going to be playing, and we'll get the guy's opinion on it before we get into the weekend. The weekend is, of course, all about the MTN8. 4 games. We'll get into those games and what the guys think are going to happen in the games. Let's go back to last week as well and look at the games that play during the week and last weekend, what the guys thought of those. But all of that happening over the next hour. Thanks so much for choosing us. It's the Mighty Metro FM. This is Sports That Amplified with Andile. Andile Ncube. Thank you so much, Lerato. We're going to miss you as you go. It was a great week. We welcome back Touch as of Monday. So looking forward to that too. Pro Pilani, he's all the way out at Dubai. He's SABC Sports researcher, reporter, but also one of those that keeps the Twitter streets alive. At Pro Pilani is where you can follow him, Pro.
Good evening, Andile. Good evening to the gentleman in the studio, and good evening to all the listeners of this number one sports show in South Africa.
Last week we spoke about Sundowns versus Kaizer Chiefs. What did you say and what happened?
As usual, I picked Sundowns to win the match, and it happened exactly. I feel sorry for Mkonza because he was counting on Coach Molefe to turn the fortunes around. But unfortunately for him, Shito Tolapile and Sundowns will continue to dominate this fixture until things change somewhere.
Well, speaking of Mkonza, he's here. He is, of course, Spiro Mkonza, former footballer with Kaizer Chiefs and many others, but also an analyst on SABC Sport. But also, of course, he is the founder of Nandi Sports Academy out in Polokwane. One of these days, we're going to get into more details about it, but look it up, Nandi Sports Academy. Bana, we spoke about Chiefs and Sundowns last week. We must take accountability. What did you say?
Yeah, obviously, the first thing Bulisa Andile, I mean, to the listeners, as Mnandi is buzola into Mnandi yapinda sesikhona ile Friday Mnandi. I obviously I'll side the Kaizer Chiefs because trying to be loyal to Kaizer Chiefs, but if you look at how Chiefs play on Wednesday,
so we're being factual when you're being loyal.
No, but Andile, if tomorrow ngivuka ngithi Khosi lizoshaya ukuthi lo muntu ukuthi ubeka la sebenza into esingayazi ukuthi uyenzani. So I needed to side Khosi. Obviously, in reality, Sundowns we're gonna win the match, but Chiefs ayikahlangani Andile kusazosetshenzwa kusazonuka idust. I mean, Chiefs uyithatha one shot per match, then
one shot on target the entire 90 minutes.
ikutshela ukuthi iSpanish sesesikhulu uNtseki sesene job, because iChiefs is not just about winning phela, you also need to play well as Kaizer Chiefs and collect maximum results.
Nadeem, what did you say and what happened?
It's interesting because Propilan is trying to move away. He said Nzega is a good coach, is a good appointment. I mean,
He did?
Yeah, the guy 90 minutes, one shot on target. It just shows they just need to actually make.
But sure, is it fair to say it's too early, Nadeem? It's only the second
No,
game?
that's not too early. The guy has not even won a friendly match at Chiefs. Remember, I played where
Tanzania,
Rakale
Botswana.
scored that goal, so he can't even win a friendly match. I heard that he also played Sport United where he lost a friendly match. He doesn't look like winning a match. So he actually, that's one people are saying now, maybe he was better than him.
Two matches, though. If we forget, let's talk about the official matches.
No, even the way they played.
We don't give him time a little
the
bit?
The two matches, he actually make Morgan Mamela speak the whole week as if Chippa United played better than Kaizer Chiefs, remember, in Durban. So Chippa United, we know that they're a relegating fighting team ever since they were promoted in the PSL. So he made Morgan Mamela so confident to feel like it's Jose Mourinho of South African football because he just did better than Kaizer Chiefs.
All of you always asking me where Nadeem is, how you get a hold of him on Twitter. You can't get a hold of him on Twitter, but you can get Nadeem on Instagram. Just look up Nadeem Lukele. You'll find him there. Do you...
To do what? What are they going to do on my Instagram?
Gents, let's get straight into it. Let's begin with the stories making headlines. Opta Jabu is going to join us when we start speaking about the games of the weekend. MTN8 this weekend, so we'll get into it. Let's go with Rulani Mokoena first. Rulani Mokoena feels that Marcelo Allende is not being given the credit he deserves. Have a listen to what he said.
And I never single out individuals, I always speak about the team. To be honest with you, I'm really surprised. To boggles my mind how a player like Marcelo Allende doesn't have a Man of the Match award. I don't even know what more Marcelo Allende must do to be recognized for his contribution in the group. I don't think these players are appreciated enough for the type of football they play, for the incredible contributions they make in terms of trying to uplift the standard of South African football.
Marcelo Allende, not appreciated enough. He doesn't understand why a player like that has not even won a Man of the Match award. You look at the weekend game the midweek game against Kaizer Chiefs, Masego winning that, with Rulani saying even Peterson deserved it over him. That's his own player.
I fully agree with Coach Rolani. I don't know what else Marcelo Allende needs to do to win the Man of the Match award. Because I think for me, he just dominated that match. He just dominated the midfield. Not only against Kaizer Chiefs, but even last season, he was dominating a lot of midfield duels, and he never got the recognition that he deserved. And again, Peterson, forget the mistake that he made for the second goal. I strongly believe that he kept the scoreline respectable, and he kept Kaizer Chiefs hoping for a comeback in the match. And he made a lot of brilliant one-on-one saves, and then I believe they helped Kaizer Chiefs to gain more confidence and to even get that equalizer. But truth be told, Allende is not respected in the country. And I remember the words of former Sundowns coach Peter Mosemane when he asked who chooses the Man of the Match. Because these are the kind of situation that makes us doubt sometimes the selection or the choice of the Man of the Match after PSL games.
There wasn't the greatest sound there. Nadeem was even saying he couldn't hear Rulani quick, but that's why I had to iron it out. How do we, Nadeem, perhaps because you know, how is Man of the Match chosen? For those that don't know, how is Man of the Match chosen? Do you remember?
Yeah,
you worked here long enough.
Usually it's like commentators who are live at the game, they're the one who decide, and then the analysts, they involve them in the studio.
So it's the anchor, the analysts, and the commentators of the game on the day. They all vote and put in their names, and whoever is the most popular according to that vote is the Man of the Match.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. What do you think of what Rulani said?
I honestly think Rulani needs to give credit to Masego. He played very well. He's a new player. He's only 19-year-old, signed from their development team, SuperSport United. So I honestly feel he is the one who deserved the Man of the Match. And Mokoena was outstanding last season. He played better than Allende. Allende is a quality player. We know he came with a huge fee. He's also doing well at Mamelodi Sundowns. But I think Rulani is not telling the truth when he says we don't appreciate Allende. We do. We know his quality. I mean, he played well. I remember when they beat Ali 5-2 at Loftus. He was brilliant. He scored a cracker goal. I don't know who he can't be a Man of the Match all the time.
But not even once.
He will be. It was time goes on. He's not been consistent. It's not been ever. Actually, Rulani must start selecting him every game. He's not been selecting him even from when he took over. It's not like he was ever consistent in the lineup. Player like Themba Zwane and Mkwena, he's always been Peters. I mean, the goalkeeper Williams been ever present. Mdau, those are the players that actually were rewarded with even major awards: PSL Defender of the Season and Football of the Season. So he needs to select him more so that he become the best player in the PSL. But at the moment, he's not the best player in the PSL. He just need to play him more. Hopefully, we can say he is the best. But even at Sundowns, he's not better than Themba Zwane or Mkwena.
Kwanzaa?
And siyacava ukuthi Allende it's my favorite player, but we need to be honest ukuthi Maseko did well on Wednesday. He was a constant threat to Kaizer Chiefs. You could see Gucci Chiefs were suffering because Maseko was giving Sundowns different dimension, and how he was playing on Wednesday. All he needed is a final product. Yes, as a coach, Urane feels good. Allende's influence is evident and everybody to see. But remember, we viewed the game differently, and sometimes your man of the match might not be my man of the match. So Allende, for me, we all know Gucci PSL. Is my top player Andile, but I think for me,
so when is the best player in the PSL?
For me, yeah. I've told you off air, Guti. Allende influence is very evident, and how Sundowns plays, he links up. If a player makes 75% per match of possession and vertical, that shows Guti influence is huge.
This is Sport Night Amplified with Andile. Okay. 6 till 7 p.m. Powered by SABC Sport.
It's 23 after the hour 6 on Sports Night Amplified with Andile. Remember, we're going to be building up to the weekend games. MTN8, who takes it? So far in the studio from last week's game is 2-1. Mkonza getting it wrong, Pro and Nadim getting it right. But let's talk a little bit now about Mulifinteki and what he had to say after that Sundowns game about his goalkeeper, Peterson.
When it comes to Brandon, I think things like this do happen in football. If you were to count how many times he came out to save the team, will nullify the mistakes he made that led to the goal. Anything that happens in a game of football, it's a team effort. If you were to look back and try to trace where the first mistake was made, it is not only about him letting in the goal, but the whole team made a mistake. That's how we consider.
Pro?
I agree with the coach, Andile. I agree with him 100%. For me, like Coach Rani said, and like I've said before, Brendan deserved even a shout for a Man of the Match award. I think the only thing that I feel that might have let down Kaizer Chiefs more and exposed Brendan even more in the match was the fact that the spine of Kaizer Chiefs was moved or was shifted by the brilliance of Mamelodi Sundowns midfielders. Hence, he was exposed most of the time, and he did well under pressure. It's so unfortunate that when you wanted to help the team to counter Sundowns after that attack, he just mistimed the ball and it slipped through his fingers. Otherwise, Brendan Peterson should be retained even against Cape Town City on Sunday, because it will only that is how he's going to learn, and that is how his game is going to improve going forward. So for me,
so according from your analytic point of view, there's a new number one at Kaizer Chiefs.
There's a new number one at Kaizer Chiefs, and remember last season I was pro Kune. I was sure that Itumeleng Kune should be retained as a number one, but Nadim kept on fighting for Brendan Peterson, and he has proved his worth. And this season, you can see even with Molefi and Segi, when he took over, you can see that he wants to continue with Peterson. And with the announcement that Kune might be looked at doing some ambassador job at Kaizer Chiefs, you can see that continuity is the most important thing in the goalkeeping department, and they will continue with Peterson. So for me, he's number one for this new season.
Mkonza?
I think for me now we need to be honest, Andile, in a sense that Brendan Peterson for me is a future of Bafana goalkeeper. And there's a huge shift in terms of goalkeeping. Kaizer Chiefs, if you go back last season, they've used 3 goalkeepers, and a top club needs to have a stable goalkeeper. So I thought last season also reflected Gucci Chiefs were unstable. So Brendan Peterson, I think he gets the nod for me, because goalkeeping now is a specialized position. It's no longer just umuntu dive kuphela. You need to be specialized. You need to be, if a team emphasizing on ball position, you need to be the person to rotate position for us. I think Brendan Peterson ticks all the boxes in terms of goalkeeping. That mistake Makosi asikoleni ngiyazi ukuthi hey ngibuya lapho nambe ngibambe on goal engaqoli Makosi mara sikoleni ngoba umfana ujimile man.
The fact that he had 8 shots on target, honestly speaking, it says a lot about the Kaizer Chiefs holding midfielders and defenders. Maybe they are not good enough as people thought they were against Chippa United. I agree with everything Propilane said. Peterson has to continue as the number 1 goalkeeper for Kaizer Chiefs. There's not even a question of it. He's the best goalkeeper there. Yeah. He's not even Kunen Bavumano and nowhere near at his level. They need to just trust him. But I'm worried about the Chiefs. They're causing 8 chances against Maulu Sundowns. That is on target. And obviously, shot at goal, they were more than that. It should have been worse. I think the second goal of Sundowns obviously was a mistake. That was a very poor goalkeeping from Peterson. That goal should have not been allowed. But he did play well there.
No one, maybe, what do you think of Kaizer Chiefs' fans? And I heard a section of the fans, it wasn't boos, but they were getting frustrated with Ranga.
I did say Ranga is an NFT striker. He's not a Kaizer Chiefs level. The fact that he was signed, it's one of those mistakes Chiefs they will see as the season goes on, because I was trying to disagree with Pelane and Mkonza when they felt that he's a quality. He's not. The fact that he scored 10 goals last season of Marumo Gallants and they were relegated, if you look at the kind of goals he scored, he never scored against the top teams. And he never did much for them. Yes, Marumo Gallants, even any player at that team in Marumo Gallants, that's why I love Romain Mtaga so much. They were creating so many chances that even if you can put Ndulula...
But many might say he's working too hard as a striker.
Yeah.
No, but you need
to look at how far back he's going and how much defensive work he's doing.
Andile Chiefs plays without a creative midfielder. He's starved of his service, Uranga. He's forced to defend. Our Chiefs immediately losing position, they go to mid-block. As a striker, there was a time where I see him behind the ball, which was a surprise with how a striker behind the ball. That shows which Chiefs were defending in more numbers, numerical trying to reinforce the lines. So Ranga is starved. Chiefs were in position. How many times did he was given his service from Abu?
Okay, but what would you say about...
But the quality, can I just finish? The quality Ranga, we haven't seen it because it's only 2 games that he has played. Gula mistakes are high. And I think for me, let's give him a bit of chance because he was given a chance. So give Ranga a chance. After 5 games, you can start coming back and discuss the issue. But for me, what I've seen during the week, I thought, no, he's starved of position. He needs to work hard. And the striker must Uba striker come defender, Uba problem.
Nadim, you're saying?
No. I was saying Ashul Dupri, immediately after Ashul Dupri came in, Chiefs created more chances, ended up scoring. That's the same thing against Chippa United, where Ashul Dupri, when he comes in, you see that Chiefs can score anytime. I disagree that Ranga is not stuffed. They play the same position well. When Ashul Dupri, Chiefs, they become more of a threat. Ranga is not a Kaizer Chiefs material striker. With him, Chiefs...
But him and Ashley, different position, isn't it? I mean, but you could have a Ranga maybe...
And the Ranga is a centre forward, right?
As maybe a 9, maybe more so like a strong, tall 9 versus somebody who's a second striker who's comfortable running on the wings, who's,
But basically, both of them, they have to score goals for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes.
Exactly.
But that's unfair. What do you have to say, Pro?
No, but Andile, we need to be fair. Uranga, when Nadim says he's an NFT strike, I don't think that's a bit harsh. I don't think that is true. Each Chiefs last season scored 32 goals. Marumo Gallants scored 27. So there's not much of a difference. And the Chiefs lost more games than Marumo Gallants last season. So Kumina level is still the same. It's just that he needs to get a proper supply, and he's still unfit. I think once he gets to his right level of fitness, he's going to give Kaizer Chiefs low up front. They must be patient with him, and players like Ashley are going to benefit a lot playing alongside Uranga. And then there's also Upotane. He showed his quality again, that he can bring a lot of balls inside the box, and Uranga will always be there to finish those balls. So Kaizer Chiefs fans must be patient with him. They must give him a chance, and they must give him time. And once he's settled, and once he gets used to playing in front of a full crowd, because Gallants obviously was playing in front of 100, 200 fans at home, but now he's playing for Kaizer Chiefs. There's always 10,000 or more fans, and he's going to produce. They must be patient with him.
Unfortunately, Pilani's cat has
No, but okay, remember, Pilani, what I was saying is that he has played, he's 30 years old, played only 1 season in the PSL. Most of the season he's been playing in the NFT, Ubuntu Cape Town, Witbank Space. He doesn't have much PSL experience. So we're gonna... that's why I'm saying he's an NFT striker, because he's played most of his football at NFT, only 1 season in the PSL. Scored less than 20, at 30 years old, you've got less than 20 goals in the PSL as a PSL striker. For me, he's not the kind of a player that I will say is going to change Kaizer Chiefs' fortune. Remember, Chiefs' challenge is to win trophies, is not to be in the top 8.
He scored 6 goals in the CAF Confederation Cup to prove his quality.
For what
he has done. under the circumstances and under the quality that he was playing with. And I'm happy that a coach like Raymond Mdaga was able to assist him and to help him to play in the right position and to be in the right places. And Monefin Soegi is a former Bafana coach. Atazwana is a former Bafana coach. They are going to assist him to get into the right places and to get into, as long as he gets his fitness properly. We must just look at the fitness side of it. Once he gets fit, Ranga is going to be a problem and it's going to help Kaizer Chiefs.
Let's him go score at least 3 goals, then we'll talk about him. At least 3. I'm not saying 10. It doesn't matter. Even if on Sunday score a hat-trick against Eric Tinkler's side.
How many goals do you have him for this entire season?
I don't see him scoring the 10 goals scored last season.
So less than 10 goals.
We must be careful with giving him numbers, because there's a guy that scored a hat-trick of penalties last season, and people were already calling him one.
No, you're right.
Let's just not put numbers. Let's just look at his contribution. Rana is going to contribute. If he doesn't contribute, you will come back here and you will nail me again and say I was wrong. And
of course we will. Of course we will. Let's move on.
I hear you, Pilan.
Let's move on from this one. There's 2 stories now. We've only got time for one. We can go to Nukomatlo. Speaking about Banyana conceding from set pieces, or we can touch on one of the Tiko Modisa stories. Which one do we go to?
Nukomatlo.
Tiko Modisa.
Pro, you get to decide.
I think the Tiko Modisa story is well known. Let's give him a chance.
There we go. Let's go to
Nukomatlo
men on conceding from set pieces at the World Cup. Have a listen to what Nuko said when she spoke to us here on Wednesday.
Yeah, Andile, I think we saw on the social media what people they were saying, but in other ways, it's true. If you look at the team that we played against Sweden, I think their height 1.75 to 1.8, while we have 1.5 to 1.65. So it shows that their height it was advantage of them. So that is why whenever we considered it on every game, we were a little bit worried because they were taller than us. So and remember, all the games that we played, considered all our goals from services.
So they're very well away. She's saying they were taller than us. She didn't want to be dragged into, why this, why that, and she kept away from it. But they realized that, and she says they practiced it, but they just couldn't get it right defensively. And also, you can touch on Banyana holistically here because, I saw Mazola Mulef, a friend of the room here, tweeting about how it's actually as if the Banyana team are mad at the entire nation in the way that they've come back and not wanting to speak to the media. We saw Tembi, who we know is dealing with a lot at the moment, but it wasn't just Tembi. It was a lot more, shutting the media out instead of, celebrating the people of South Africa as they celebrated them. Pro, I know you're following the story on online as well. Talk to me.
Well, I was disappointed with the behavior, first and foremost, but Andile, I thought that after being away from home for a very long time, you would come back and you'd want to speak to your people, and even if it's 2 lines, 3 lines, you'd want to say something because they want to hear about your experiences and the amount of pressure that you dealt with. And on top of that, you guys did well. You progressed to the next round. At least they should have given the media that courtesy, saying something to South Africans who were supporting them. I mean, we're up at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m. watching them, and the least they could have done was to say something to South African fans. And whatever happens, I think they've got their own reasons, and we must respect it, even though I'm disappointed. But I feel also that when it comes to the issue of height, we did our homework. We knew the type of players that we had, and I'm sure Abos Nesipo, they did their analysis on how to deal with that. And unfortunately, there's nothing else we can do. But as a country, I think we need to look at 2027 and start preparing a new team going forward. And I hope that the coach will be retained in a technical team, and they will work towards that 2027 World Cup.
Ding, that's the time, 18:35. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for as far as the news is concerned. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we cover the weekend fixtures. 4 games, MTN8. The guys have done their research and their homework. We'll start with Opta Jabu, who will lay it to us, and then go into the guys. Remember, at 18:45, it's then over to you on 086 0002160 on anything that we've spoken about, or WhatsApp us on 060 552 7303. It's 18:36. Let's get straight into it. There are 4 fixtures on the weekend, all in the MTN8, and we're going to take a look at all of them and see what the guys think. They're starting on Saturday, of course. We've got Sundowns at 3 o'clock playing Moroka Swallows Football Club. At 6, Orlando Pirates Football Club playing Sekhukhune United. And on Sunday, it's Cape Town City Football Club versus Kaizer Chiefs. That's going to be one that I can't wait to hear what the gents think of that one there. Yeah, ne? Are you excited?
Yeah, no.
All right. Before we start there with the guys, let's go to Lindelo Moyo of Opta Jabu. Follow Opta Jabu on Twitter. They're back. They've been back for a while and they're back very strong. Opta, talk to me. What are some of the stats about the weekend coming up?
Andile, good evening. Good evening to you, the guys in the panel, and the listeners as well. Exciting times to have the finals of the MTN8. We have a few stats that we listed out here, starting with, I guess, for Sundowns, kind of a bad omen for them. Yes, only 4 title winners have won the top 8 the season after lifting the PSL title. But the good news there is that at least 2 of those times it was Sundowns as well, in 2007 and 2021. There
you go. But it's a trophy they've struggled with. I mean, remember, even with Pito. It's a trophy they've struggled with. The other game that we didn't mention there, I didn't mention, is Super Sports United and Stellenbosch as well. That's on Sunday. Okay, what else do you have?
We have some bad omens, I guess, for Cape Town City and Sekhukhune. There's no PSL team that has ever finished in a season in 4th or 7th and then gone on to win the top 8 the following season.
Yeah, ne.
Yeah, those are the stats you must just look away from.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I know that one. Okay, give me another one. Give me another one, Opta.
And then, of course, we've seen that Sundowns, Chiefs, SuperSport, and Pirates are all in different quarterfinals. But then they've never all reached the semifinals of the same tournament in the same season.
So basically, corner lapos laugh. Corner's laugh. Give me one more. I've got time for one more, Opta. Give me another one.
So one more. Look, I love the good omens and the bad omens. There's a good omen for Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates as well. The teams that finish in 2nd or 5th the season before, they've gone on to win the MTN8 title on more occasions than any other position.
Opta Jabu, please give them the details. How do they follow you?
We're Opta Jabu, OPTAJABU, on all social media platforms, mostly Twitter and Facebook as well.
It's Linda Lamoya, part of the Opta Jabu and Laduma Analytics crew. Get out there and take a look at them. Thank you so much. Always appreciate having you on. Linda Lamoya, he's out of here. Now let's go to the games, guys. Let's start on Saturday. You can watch the games, of course, live on SABC1. You can catch Mkonza and myself and Trumpo Kekana as we give you Mamelodi Sundowns versus Swallows. Since you're right here, Mnandi Sports Academy.
It's going to be a battle of coaches. If you look at that match, Steve Kompela has got a huge responsibility to turn things around at Swallows. Swallows has been an unstable side. That's why they brought back Ikalchaba to be a Morocco Swallows that is well known. I mean, players like Jali, Mabasa, Palana, they've got the responsibility also to show Guti. Swallows have shown responsibility to Guti. We want you here, come and help us in our project. They need to deliver. So it's going to be a Kompela factor for Swallows, which is going to be key. But again, if you look at Sundowns, Rulane, 2 games already won in the league, which gives them a bit of confidence. But Sundowns is not playing well. Guys, can I tell you something? In momentum, I dope it's a build up. So it's a processes. It's going to be processes. Sundowns are going to get it's going to be interesting. Already, if you look at these fixtures, Andile, Sundowns, he collected 4 points. Go Swallows. So Sundowns is on Tulala. You know why ngisho kanjalo, because Steve Kompela iSpanish sesesiningi, watching them how they played in the last 2 matches. I could see good akahlangani kahle, majority yeklapha ayikabi mnandi kahle.
Okay, Nadim.
Yeah, with Sundowns, I expect them to easily win against Morocco Swallows. I don't even think it's gonna be a battle for Rulani Mkwena, because Steve Kompela, you see Andile is playing in Palane. Obvious, they are playing in a new team. It's still a combination. Sundowns are well all machine. They've won the league past 7 times, and they've got a coach who actually has 73% win rate in the PSL. It's one of those matches where if it's not less than 3 goals, Sundowns winning that match, I mean, you'll praise Steve Kompela, you'll say he has done well. With Swallows, Mabasa is the only one who've scored, obviously. Immediately after he was signed, he scored against Arrows. It looks like they're going to be fighting relegation. I thought maybe...
Who's the Swallows?
Yes, it looks like it, because I saw how they lost to Eric Tinkler and also drew with Arrows. I am not convinced that they're better than the team that Morgan Mamila left that won 4 consecutive matches, because it's the same team that drew with Sundowns. I don't see this team drawing with Sundowns. I expect Sundowns to go through the semifinals with ease.
Pro?
In 2009, Steve Kompela gave a 24-year-old Ronnie Mokoena a chance to be a second assistant coach at Platinum Stars.
Yep.
And they reunited in 2020. One is a senior coach and one is a co-head coach. And they'll be battling for the first time against one another. And unfortunately, Steve Kompela, if there's a team that has never given Steve Kompela a piece, it's definitely Mamelodi Sundowns. I think he has won about 5 times against them and he has lost, I think, about 14 times. And I think it's going to continue. Unfortunately, as much as it's got quite a quality, it's got quality players in his squad. Abojali, Palane, Mabasa. What more can I say about Mabasa as a sniper, as a finisher in the team? But they've also got Ukig and Allen at the back. But I don't think that their quality will be enough to deny Sundowns the right to progress to the semi-finals.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Orlando Pirates, Kukune. Pro, you're still on the podium, so go for it.
Orlando Pirates, Kukune is a repeat of Nedbank Cup final. Is Kukune well organized, well drilled side? Brendan Schultz, I think, is doing something right in a low-profile team. And I think for me, this is an opportunity for them to redeem themselves after what happened in the Nedbank Cup final. And I think they might snatch this one on penalty.
Okay.
Very well organized Skukune. If you look at the fixtures, yes, already Pilane Sega Shilo in Nedbank final last season. But what is key is Kukune's very organized, patient approach, very stubborn side to beat. If you could go back to Nedbank run, and they've conceded only 1 goal. So it's a side that plays on the low block, coming out using counter-attack. We've seen Uskeshe influence Yake because that's how Skukune plays. And I can tell right now, Pirates, for coming second last season, expectations are high. Defending champions of this trophy, expectations are high. But if you watch all their matches with Skukune, Pirates has always dominated all round. The final itself, Pirates dominated with 77 ball position, 26 shots on target. Skukune only 8 shots on target with 23 ball position. So they're playing a safe game. But they approach a final, approach of a cup game. So it's going to be interesting with how Pirates replicate the performance there during midweek by beating Mamkiza 4-2.
So Pirates for you?
Yeah, Pirates for me.
They
beat Mamkiza or Royal M?
Oh, Royal M, sorry.
Okay. Okay, look, Orlando Pirates will win that game because they are playing at home, Orlando Stadium, where they are strong. Last season, they only lost 2 matches against Sundowns and Chippa United, where Dinklage won and celebrated. Immediately after winning that game at Orlando, he thought he's going to win the league, Dinklage. That's what he told us, that he's going to win the league. But Pirates are very strong at Orlando. If they were playing in another stadium, I was going to say Skukune is going to win. At Orlando Stadium, I don't even think they have a chance of winning. They will lose there. In 90 minutes, they will be knocked out.
While you're still on the podium, Nadim, Cape Town City then take on Kaizer Chiefs.
Definitely, Kaizer Chiefs are going out of the tournament. They're playing Eric Tinkler, who I believe is the best coach in the PSL.
Eric Tinkler?
Yeah, definitely. I rate him highly from Pirates. I know what he can do. Remember, he's the same guy who beat Kaizer Chiefs last time when they won 1-0 to overtake Kaizer Chiefs. Eric Tinkler, I expect them to beat Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs don't even look like winning a match, let alone scoring a goal. The fact that Ronan Williams considered the only goal that they shot at goal, it's actually maybe Ronan Williams needs to go back and become physically aware. But I don't see how Kaizer Chiefs can go to Cape Town and come up with a victory.
Kwanzaa?
I think if you look at this match, fresh from my memories all last season, where last match of the season, Cape Town City beat Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
And again, you look at Eric Tinkler, it's one of the teams that already collected 6 points in the league. So it's a team that is getting a momentum right near Redimiak. And how he plays, one thing I would give to Eric Tinkler, very brave coach. Remember, he's a coach that he doesn't dwell too much on defeat. He relates to defeat and the team. Remember how they started even last season. They started poorly because there was a CAF that they were involved in. But Cape Town City have created a foundation.
I'll research it today.
But the Chiefs with 1 shot against Sundowns, it's concerning. It worries me because less creativity in the midfield. They were playing too safe not to lose the match, and that is why against Sundowns they only played 10 minutes in the second half. And after that, it worries me because I spoke to coach personally and but the patience because any driving situation and he understood that the culture club and it needs a bit of patience but resilience and inner strength if he wants to survive.
But all of that said, who do you give it to?
I give it to course. Wow, the whole day. Course is the whole day.
Pro.
Historically, Kaizer Chiefs is a lucky team. Club coach Rolani Mokoena, 2023.
Pro, I pinned the
Pro, kusho Rolani Mokoena.
Pro, you show I'm Nandi, man.
I pinned the
Pro.
What I'm trying to say is, in the last 5 games that these two teams have played, Cape Town City have won 4, and another one ended in a draw. So I'm not sure which Umkhonza is going to have another good weekend, but it doesn't look good, to be honest with you. And I'm just worried because if they lose this one, we might start to see some resistance on the stands. And remember, others are even talking about hashtag MTN8 or resign. So I don't think Uguti is going to be good enough. And as long as Kaizer Chiefs doesn't do well, I worry because we need Kaizer Chiefs fans in the stadium. But unfortunately for this one, I will have to give it to the citizens.
While you're on, Pro, you got exactly 15 seconds. We've got a minute to wrap up this segment before we take our calls on 086-0002160. WhatsApp's on 060-552-7303. The gents are already here. I can see them prepping and talking about their music. Lulu Cafe and the Naked DJ. Super Sports Stellenbosch.
So Kevin Hunt will take this one.
Nice and simple. Mkonza?
Kevin Hunt will take this one. Stellenbosch kusahlanganiswa Andile, but I've watched the game against Polokwane City. I thought they struggled a lot, but struggling. So Kevin Hunt already with 4 points on the etafleni ke ashuta uzondlula.
Maramazotti, Kevin Hunt couldn't beat a 10-man team during the week.
Yeah, yes, Andile, sometimes the match turn out differently, especially if they were playing away at Amazulu with a red card. Yes, one would say you needed to win against Amazulu, but our match they've got their own way of turning around. But I believe Kevin Hunt with the Super Sport team that about less expectations, it's easy to win a match.
Nadim?
Super Sport is the only team last season that didn't lose a game at home, so they're playing at home. They will beat Stellenbosch.
We gon' get connected. WhatsApp the Metro FM studio. 060-552-7303.
Exe Andile Jimmy Maga the busy corner of Mosepe Propilani Nedin Spio Mkonza abafana bangakalo khopela ka jono le nthatha moleleke le mbotsore Kaizer Chiefs ya wina sonta ke tla robala boroko apa ke na boroko ka lebakeng la Kaizer Chiefs a ke na boroko sa belief Jimmy Maga the busy corner of Mosepe dango ke na le pontsontsoko.
Thank you, boy.
And to your team, I'm a Sandawana, but to be honest, Peterson saved Chiefs a lot. He deserved that man of the match. Yes, Maseko played well, but in most cases it was covered by Frosler. Yes, we got corners, but he couldn't make a cross against Frosler. So, deservedly, man of the match should have been the goalkeeper of Kaizer Chiefs. Peterson, he deserved it. Irrespective of the plan, but he deserved to be man of the match.
Thank you so much, man. We should have played that clip got Dr. Kumalo Maseko.
Yeah.
About Beganau, eh? Was he with you? Was it Trump? Kumalo Maseko and you know how he feels, but it's fine. I'll let Dr. Kumalo speak for himself. We'll play it one of these days. Let's go to where we going? Is it Deboho out in Defloop? No, it's David in Aguduleni. David. Hey man, Timmy, who is it? Hello? Okay, Timmy is stingy with the callers here. He's keeping them for himself.
Hello?
Deboho.
Yes.
Talk to us.
Yeah, Nadim.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's thing how Peterson. I think you're looking at things the opposite way. Yeah, when we talk about goalkeepers, we're looking at the fact that the goalkeeper knows when to call the game, when to control the game, when to attack, and then when to make a transition. So if Uleverela Peterson, he does none of those things. We understand. Looking at the game yesterday, and with that blunder, he obviously can take a lot of that guy need a lot of training. So, but opting for Kuno will be a best thing. So you can't start a debut. Kalasandra's playing against you is like playing a debut. So you can't start a debut with no experience at all. So you started the goalkeeping fund.
So basically, when it should be Itumele Nkune.
The number one. Peterson is the worst goalkeeper.
Okay, Nadim, he's directing that at you. Peterson is the worst goalkeeper. It should be Kune.
Of course, I disagree with him. The Kaizer Chiefs coaching staff, I disagree with him. Even other coaches at Sundown, they disagree with him. So it is what it is, but I respect his opinion.
Peter, out in Brit.
Andile?
Hey, talk to us, man.
Yeah, I'm going to MTN8 now. I want to give you my last four. Yeah, I go with Mamelodi Sundowns.
Okay.
I go with Pirates.
Okay.
I go with SuperSport. I go with Cape Town City. But what I can tell you is there's not going to be any walkover. I mean, even the Sundowns and Swallows, it's not like Sundowns are going to beat Swallows maybe 3. It's going to be maybe 2-1. Orlando Pirates, it can even go to extra time. Even the game between Chiefs and Cape Town, it can still go to an extra time. But SuperSport, they're going through, like I said. So, but there's not going to be any walk in the park, Andy.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And what Nadeem says is actually think about it. It's not Mulefenseke who said Khune is not number one anymore, not playing him. It's not Arthur even. It's not Stewart even. Khune has not been number one in a while.
Even the coach of the season says, I mean, it's brilliant.
Let's move on to David Atenugurleni. David.
Hello.
Hey, talk to me.
Yeah, yes, I'm going to start with my predictions of the last 4. Sundowns will go through. Pirates will go through. Stellenbosch will go through. Between Cape Town City and Chiefs, I give it to Chiefs. And then now I want to dwell on the Banyana a bit.
Very quickly, go for it.
The pain of Tembi is what I'm feeling as well. The way the Banyana players were like given a send off, it was like just go. There's an executive member who like insulted Dr. Kumar. That man also, yes, humiliated those girls, and he was not even called into order by Mr. Jordan, which means he's a praise singer for Mr. Jordan. Him and Mr. Jordan are not recognizing the girls, and the politics of team selection played a major role in the Banyana. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We've got time, so we can take more. Let's go to Ulunga. Ulunga's out in Roodepoort.
Good day. I just want to give you my top 4.
Go for it.
Sundowns, Pirates, SuperSport, and Cape Town City. Yes, abantu basa angazi Chiefs abantu bayikhalela imathi. Akuna next.
Ufevan.
Angicela iphinde uthini?
I support Chiefs and Arsenal, you know me, Andile.
Oh no, then it's a very sad time for you.
Abantu basakhalela ukuthi akuna next, akuna abantu mkhonza futhi wami phumara mntaka.
But I mean, many might say, Uguti, when you look at that game against Sundowns, you know, it wasn't all bad. The scoreline ended up being 2-1, and towards the end, maybe Chiefs came back a little bit. You heard the coach saying it was a game of 2 halves.
But now people are still like even now nilwa ngabu abantu bafana naboranga ahlangani. Sometimes we'll end up blaming other players for not providing their best for the team. Just to find out team yona nje ngokwayo umkhonza ulidlalile ibhola mntaka baba. Sometimes you don't need to be good to play for a certain team. You just need to find a good team.
Lunga, out in Roodepoort.
Thank you so much.
Let's go to this is a platform. Do you agree or disagree?
Andile, it's important that Maupeg 11 Chiefs influence needs to be key. Speaking about responsibility of the players. Oranga ngithi ukhala ngokuthi is protector boranga senzani. But the fact still remains good. He was staff of service Oranga. If mnikeni service then bese siyasho ukuthi akamnandanga. But I'm saying to you out Yami, Mamelo's really dust on Sunday.
Xoliso out in Johannesburg. Xoliso.
Kaizer Chiefs supporter, by the way.
Go for it.
We draw against Chippa United and lost against Sundowns. We're going to win against Cape Town City.
Why? Why do you say that? What did you see in those 2 games that makes you say that?
Okay. The only thing I saw from the coach is that he's a little bit confused amongst the 3. Castillo, Stebe, plus who's this colored guy?
Yusuf.
Yeah. So he needs to deploy either of the 3 to a more offensive play just behind Oranga, because Oranga doesn't get a supply from our midfield. So one of these 3 guys should go forward so that abe behind Oranga, so that Oranga akhona ukukhathela amabhola pale.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Xoliso there. Tabito's in Tsakane. Tabito.
Hey, how's it?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Go straight into it.
Yeah, man, I have a question for the guys that studio.
They're here. Go for it. That's why they're here.
Yeah. Last season we had UPM Mnyama, which is yeah. Now we have Uranga. PM Mnyama has scored 9 goals for Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken, and and Ranga scored 10 goals for his previous team. What's the difference between these 2 players?
Mkonza?
It's a different quality in a sense that Uranga is more of a strike. He's not just a target man. He can play with a partner. He can play alone as a lone striker, and he's a terminator. So Upimenyama relied so much on the service. The football manager.
But you said the same thing about Ranga. He needs a service.
Yeah, so I'm saying remember, a striker, a modern striker influences the playing style of a team. So he Chiefs how he played last season. Why won't Chiefs cross out time because you need to save Upimenyama. They need to play combination play, link up. In case of Chiefs, like attractive football. So Uranga can fit in how Chiefs wants to play in terms of integration, link up and combination play. So it's going to be different this season.
Pro, do you agree?
Mina put Andile Ukele he tried with the penalties and he tried his best. There's a huge difference between Uranga and Ukele. Uranga carried the whole team and he tried to help the team. Ukele, the team carried him. They were even giving him a lot of opportunities to even some dubious penalties. I think the whole Kaizer Chiefs team was carrying him. But I'm not saying he was not a good player. I'm just saying Uranga for me had much better qualities than Ukele.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Tabang. Tabang is in Meadale. You're the last one. Tabang. Yes, sir.
This Ranga is a zero issue. You know, I think we've got a problem there in the middle field. I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, but now I've got a problem with Yusuf Mart and Sitebe. Andile, we can't go to a dealer shop, we buy Gold 7, 2 Gold 7 black and white, and we expect them to perform differently. Those are similar cars and just different colors. That's what is happening there by our middle field Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, we have got players like Kosi Pilingo, we have got Shabalala. Why can't we put those youngsters in the middle field to complement Ranga and Castillo?
Oh, Tabang, I hear you.
Yes, Castillo is still new in Kaizer Chiefs. He still needs to adapt to the culture of our play.
For myself and my entire team, thank you so much. Pela Pela Gansomi.